Tracey from Lavinia Stamps, and thank you for joining me today for another demonstration. We're going to be using a Colourbox today. This is leather and our lovely Brushos. So we're going to start with the Colourbox. So inking up the brayer, we're going to transfer that colour over to the gel press. Now you don't need much, it's quite an intense colour, so pop that to the side, and then taking our fan brush, I'm going to start with the ochre. And just tap that on like so, and then we're going to bring in a little bit, I think this is the orange, and then some of the lime green. And let's see what we've got. So we've got our multifarious card here, and this is the white. So I'm going to line that up best I can, pop that down, give that a smooth over, and let's have a look. And there we go. That lovely green, the way it breaks through. It's one of my favourite greens, I think, out of the Brushos, is the lime green. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to the side, just dry this off. And then I'm going to trim that down. So I'm following the edge, because it's a little bit sort of skew-iff, so I'm going to follow the edge of the gel press as opposed to the edge of the card to straighten it. And then just follow that all the way around. And that way you should end up with a nice even border. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more off that side actually. And there we go. Of course you don't have to have a border, you can cut completely back to the edge of where your gel press was. And now we're going to pick a couple of stamps. Let's have a look, see what we've got here. I'm going to use our branch, and we're going to have one of our lovely crows sat on it, I think. So oops, pop that down. I'm going to ink up. This is in Nocturne. I'm going to probably go for around the middle of the card. Good press. And then let's move on to our crow. Okay, so again I'm going back to the Nocturne. Make sure he's completely covered. And then line him up on top of the branch, pop him down, and just let that rest for a while. Just put a little bit of pressure on. It's quite a big silhouette, so we want to make sure that we get a good image. We can always paint it in if it misses anyway, so don't worry too much. Let's see what we've got. There we go. Okay, so there's a little bit here. It's where some glitter was on him. So let's take a brush. Or shall we take, perhaps we'll take the end of the smoothie. That always works quite well, I think. Just touch up very carefully. There we go. So we need our moon. So I'm going to pop that over the top, and then taking a smoothie, and this time I'm going to ink up in Twilight, which is a lovely, as you know, I've said before a million times, Twilight is almost like a navy blue. I love it. It's particularly nice to stamp with if you don't want a black. Okay. And just build your colour up gradually. Don't be tempted to put a lot of colour on all at once. It's far easier to build it up little by little. Okay. Got a little crown, so I'm going to pop his crown on. Oops. So ink that up, and then we're just going to put a slight angle on it and let it rest. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to put some trees down at the bottom here, but I think before that we're going to go around the edge of the card with our smoothie and going back to the Twilight, sorry. So just work your way around the edge of the card. I'm going to give the corners a little bit more depth. Okay. Now if we want the moon a little bit lighter than what it is, we can add some water. And then if you've got a little bit of kitchen towel, just dab the water off. Give it a few seconds just to start lifting the colour. Now don't worry if you go over the top of your stamped image, because your stamped image is in VersaFine and that's an oil-based ink, so that won't budge if you've got water over the top. But you can see how that has pulled that colour out. And that just makes that moon look a little bit more solid. So I'll just dry that off. Okay. So I'm going to stamp some trees down at the bottom here. This is one of our fir trees. What colour shall we go? I think I might go with the Twilight again actually, but I'm going to stamp off this time. So ink up, stamp off, and then pop that down. And I'll do the same again over here. And let's ink up the shady lane. So and then I'm going to stamp a bigger tree in the middle, but I'm going to use the embossing powders for this one. So I do need to dry this off first, because otherwise the embossing powders tend to stick to anything that's slightly damp. Okay, we'll just give that a little wipe with our anti-static. And that way we should get a nice sharp image with the embossing powders. Okay, so taking our tree, we need a large block for this one. Pop that down and then use the Versamark. And now we're just going to ink that up. Okay, and now let's pop that down, give that a press, and we've got one of our new Wow embossing powders. This is called Jealous Guy, which is a lovely lime green. So let's just sprinkle that over the top. Tap off. It's still caught to the very edge of the fir tree, so I'm just going to make sure that's clean from the embossing powder. Okay, I'm going to move that over there. Let's put the lid on before I spill it everywhere. And let's see what a fabulous colour this is. So I'm going to heat underneath as well as on top, and it'll slowly start to change. Hope you can see that. That's great. I think that's a really lovely colour. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more stamping down here, and then I think we need to put something at the top as well. Okay, so I've got a little branch and I've got some foliage there. So I'm going to use the branch and I'm going to use the twilight. Okay, and then at the very top I'm going to use the foliage and just build that up. Amazing to think one little stamp can create such an effect, but it's really good. Okay, so I think finally we're just going to go with a little bit of glitter on his crown. I think we need the holographic for this one. I need my glue pen. And I'm just going to put a few little dots on the crown just to give it a little bit of a sparkle. Hopefully not overdo it. There we go. And there we have it. Just a few different techniques. I just wanted to show you the effect of that lovely lime green Wow embossing powder, which is the Jealous Sky. I hope you enjoyed the demo, guys. Thank you for watching and joining me today. You take care, and we'll see you real soon. Bye for now.